Alright guys, this is the third tuning session. My hatch has been fighting me every step of the way since going on boost. This thing was super reliable, NA, but things that I changed, I ended up getting a new distributor, a Dragonfire distributor, and then fixed the wastegate issue, but still had a little bit of creep, but ran into the distributor issue, and now it's gonna be on electronic boost control. Put a brand new Mac valve so we can have boost by gear, or at least control this gate electronically. Maybe get rid of some of the lag or creep. It's kind of like in between. It's kind of laggy and then it creeps away. So we're just gonna control the valve a little better with the electronic boost control, and then gonna run the knock sensor. the knock monitor pro. But from Tuner Nerds, I went ahead and put kind of like a, I guess like a, not a helicoil, but like a thread insert or whatever, like down there on the block, so I can run the Bosch knock sensor. And that's gonna help me listen to the ignition noise, make sure nothing gets too spicy. The target's 15 pounds, so hopefully I can get there and leave it there and it survives, and then no ignition issues. And then we'll probably leave it there until we go to the track. So I'll pick up back with y'all once I get all the data logging hooked up and we're ready to do some pulls. Alright guys, I'm here on the tune on HCS, and I want to show a couple things I changed to the map. I changed the breakpoints, being that it's a stock motor. I want to keep the last breakpoint, the max on my table, 20 psi, because realistically I don't want to even be running that much boost. But since I had the 4-bar, it automatically set the last breakpoint to like 43 psi or whatever, and then it just kind of interpolated all the breakpoints until vacuum. So basically I just gave myself more resolution and my goal of 20 psi. Now if you have a goal of more than 20 psi, obviously utilize that with your breakpoints. But this is just for HDS because you have to modify the tables, and this is how I chose to do it. So 0 vacuum, and then I literally start at 1 pound, and then 2 pounds, and then 4, 6, 7, and it just is going to give me a lot more resolution when I'm tuning, so that way the ECU doesn't have to interpolate between fuel cells, and then things can just be a little more smooth. I basically can see my full fuel map instead of having to zoom in. And now if you guys are tuning all motor, you can just set the breakpoints. You shouldn't have a big map sensor, but you can set NA view only and see how choppy your cruising table is. So that's something I utilize when I do the drivability section of the tune, which is up to 0 vacuum. But this turbo does spool quickly. So, and the other thing is, now we have electronic boost control. So on the setup, I'm running it always on, so as soon as I key on, there's power to the solenoid, and then the rest of it, right now I'm gonna do fixed duty till I find what current duty cycle does to the boost, and then I'll start getting my target together when I find out what duty cycle gives me what boost I want. Once I fill that up, then I'll probably run boost by gear. You gotta change that in the PWM setup. Instead of fixed duty, just choose gear based. But you do have to start with fixed duty to know what this kit's gonna do with the current and the spring you got. So we'll probably start around 8 being all 0 with the gate off, and then we'll have to add duty. And as soon as it starts to turn on, if I get to 50 at 30, 40% duty cycle, then I fill up this chart. So it's going to be kind of small because, again, this is set up for 40 psi, like a 4-bar map sensor. But basically I just needed something to reference when I punch in what boost I want and what gear. And 15 is not a lot of boost, so I could probably just actually do fixed duty until I get to 15. But one thing I do want is I want to figure out the quick spool. So my corrections, usually I'll just, under low RPM, I'll add some duty cycle, That way the boost controller is adding some pressure to the top to hold it shut until a certain RPM. Then I'll let it bleed off back to the boost control duty. And then we tested this earlier, and I just basically have to add some duty to turn it on. And you should be able to hear it because we tested it earlier. So that's the solenoid out there. And I'm gonna start at 31 Hertz. But you can see that these things don't really start adding boost until about 30%. Right there is when a lot of air is gonna start going to the top. At 20, you're gonna start venting air, and you'll notice a little bit faster spool, but you shouldn't be adding too much boost with the 3-port. This is a 3-port. A 4-port at 20% may add a lot of boost, but I like to do 3-port because they're a lot smoother to tune, easier to tune. And then I'm doing the 31 Hertz, so it'll give me some room between 30 and 60 to add a couple pounds. I want to be able to add, like, 1 or 2 pounds at a time, not accidentally add 10 pounds. But this is basically the new base map. I'm kind of starting over because I changed ignition. Now we have electronic boost control, and I just wanted to be a little smarter about my map. And then we're also going to be running the Knock Monitor Pro. So this is my little knock light down here. And also I'm going to be using the actual setup. So start it up, see if we have RPM signal. Fire it up. So basically we're gonna have to go in the settings and choose our bore size. This is F20b, which I think is 86 millimeter. So this kind of gives the knock sensor an idea of what frequency to listen to or to listen for. And basically the amplifier needs to know how much noise is happening and what it should really tell us. And if it can't hear much, we'll have to put it in high frequency. I don't think I have audio on, but we have RPM sync, so rev it up. Yeah, we have RPM sync, and we have some noise here. We don't have the waveform yet, but I'll mess with it later if I don't get a waveform. There it is. Rev it again. Yeah, I might have accidentally turned off the waveform at one point or another. Let's see. But usually when I'm tuning, I just put it in compact mode and then reduce the size of it. Well, right now it's in compact mode. Is just your combustion points. So rev it up again. Basically it'll chase RPM. And this is all combustion noise, normal combustion noise, but if you have any peaks, then we'll know it's knock. And it just did a self-learn threshold. I didn't even know it could do that. I don't think I clicked anything, but basically the noise under this threshold is our safe zone. Now if you have any abnormal combustion, like a ping or a detonation or a misfire, that knock sensor will hear it, and it's going to show up above the threshold, and that is what we're going to consider, the program's going to consider knock. Now if you're in a controlled environment and not on a road tune, like if you're in a dyno, you should be able to use knock ears and hear this. But while I do it, I just like to get a data log because I'm actually going to be tuning on the road, so I'm not going to be able to hear very well. But I'll just keep this down here and monitor everything as we tune. Alright guys, so I got the Knock Monitor Pro data logging. Data logging Knock Monitor Pro. We're getting some good little bit of air fuel, so we're going to go ahead and make a little bit of a third gear to start loading it up a little bit. Make sure air fuel's still in the green. I can't see it, just make sure it's in the green. I'll look at this one, but no, just do a little bit of fourth gear. Just load it up a little bit. Alright guys, so just kind of like a little lick, half throttle. The first thing I really look at, well, I watch air fuel, right, in case it goes lean or too rich, and I will abort the run. But when I look at the logs when I pull over, I like to check all those red boxes, and they're known as the peaks. And I really like HTS for this. It's like a quick data log check, right, without having to open the actual log. And I didn't even hit record on the data logger, so this is just live data basically, but it gets a glimpse of the peak. So he hit almost 7 pounds, only took it to 5, and he only went half throttle. And in non-VTEC, I'm not too worried about a super rich air fuel mixture, but here in the 13s is a little too lean. So you can see as I have my curves really flat, but this turbo starts to produce a lot more air in the higher RPM. So I'm just gonna have to get a little more peaky on my fuel curves, and then we'll do some 4th gear fully loaded. So we'll see it spool a little sooner, and then we'll go back to VTEC, because changing the breakpoints really is gonna throw off basically my whole base tune that I had before. So the curves are there, but it changed where they are. So we're just checking no VTEC now, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of fuel in the higher RPM, which is actually not too high, but you can see it goes flat right there. So it's like a mid 12, which is fine, and then it starts to go lean out because of that flat dip. So basically I'm just gonna stand that back up and try to hold that 1250 so I can keep it nice and clean in non-VTEC. There's no real necessary to be rich there, just kind of keep it not good on gas, but we don't need to throw the sink at it until VTEC. So I'm gonna do some edits, and then we're gonna do another lick. Alright guys, so I just realized these data log, the offset wasn't set for my AM10 that I have over there. It's the AM10X or whatever. So I need to change the voltage this voltage scaler to the new AM scaler. That way my data log knows what to scale down to. So basically all those air fuels were off a couple points, but it was showing leaner here than the gauge, so that's always better. You don't want it to say, oh, you have enough fuel, and you keep leaning it out and then you hurt something. And then also down here, I don't know if there's a little bit of normal noises, but I'm more concerned with super knock. That is like something that'll blow your shit up, which will be high volume pings. But that was very low boost, so we're gonna do another lick and see what it does. Alright guys, we're gonna do a 4th gear pull, and the air fuel is pretty good, so we're just gonna floor it from about 4,000. So it goes really rich when you floor it. So I'm gonna have to trim some of this fuel out. Alright guys, I got fuel into the mid 11s and low 12s now in no VTEC, so we're just gonna get it on camera because I forgot to hit record. And you can see all those green dots are the combustion noise. There's no knock. Timing's real soft, but let's just show y'all a little 4th gear pull. This is no VTEC. Gear. Started getting a little noisy, but it's because the threshold tapers flat, so I probably have to raise the threshold to stay consistent with increasing noise while RPM increases. But since I changed the breakpoints, it kind of messed up my tune to where all the breakpoints are in different areas. So it was real rich, but basically I saw I got it back into the 12s and high 11s. That's no VTEC, and we're hitting, it creeps up to 9 pounds. That was 6,500. So now we're gonna check the VTEC map, and just like I had to edit some of that stuff on actual fuel map. I'm gonna have to check, or I checked the ignition map, and it was thawing out at 10 degrees because it thought this brake point used to be like 20 pounds. So I'm just making sure I'm smoothing out the ignition. And then a little trick I like to do, this works with Honda Attitude, is I get it to stop following VTEC when I'm live recording. That way I can go to the VTEC maps and see what I got in them. So yeah, this is still gonna be super conservative. So I'm gonna edit that, smooth it out, and then the VTEC curve is probably gonna go super fat, so I'll have to tune that once we hit it. But I'm gonna do some edits and turn on VTEC, and then once VTEC feels good, we get to turn on the boost controller and try to crank it up to 15, and then we'll stop there. And next time, or actually, y'all probably don't want to hear this, but I'm probably gonna let my car sit until we can get my boy Yordi's car ready, because I want to take at least 2 cars to the track. So it's not, I know that's probably a little more work for the both of us, but it's just, might as well send both cars. But I'm gonna run through some parameters and then I'll get back with y'all. Alright guys, we're gonna see if VTEC is still smooth enough to do a full throttle pull. I got it coming on early so I can tune the fuel curve. We're gonna do a 4th gear pull. That wasn't my bad. My arm slipped. You were good.
Kinda glad it slipped.
Yeah. Probably why. Yeah. Oh my God.
Recorded?
Yeah. Oh, it went even fatter? Alright, looked like it got a little noisy there, so I pulled some timing, but it didn't ping, so we'll see if those dots come back down. Yeah. Alright guys, we're gonna see if we can get to limiter on low boost and VTEC. I think it's ready. 2, 3, 4. We're not.
Alright guys, Papa John finna fill the VTEC, do his first pull on video. Papa John, they been spicy. Oh shit. Yeah, she choo-choo some power.
VTEC blocked a little bit still.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh.
Let's check the crossover. Third gear. Put it over here. Rich, but it's good.
She's eating, boy.
It's good rich.
She's eating.
Let me save this log real quick.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we just did a couple pulls. We are about to
We're on 10 pounds
10
on
pounds
gate.
pure gate. So now we're about to jump start the boost controller, get it doing its thing, and
Right now we have no duty in it, so I'm gonna put it on fixed duty, and I'm just gonna put it on 10 to see if it does anything, if it spools a little faster, and I'm gonna go by 10s at fixed duty until it starts to add boost. So basically I'm gonna upload that and see if our peak goes any higher. We don't need to edit music.
oh
Clutch getting hot now, baby.
yeah, she can grab
We
it.
always fucking driving slides, so.
Yeah.
And you can see it right there, I put 10% in the boost controller. Did it go up at all?
1057.
1057. So we're gonna go up until it increases boost. So we're gonna go up to 20. They say these 3-ports don't really do much until about 30%, but you can see we're gonna try 20% until we find something that gives us more boost target.
Same thing.
It's probably gonna be around 30. 30 is when it starts to work. We'll do a quick check again to make sure. So when, oh, it's, you can, I don't know if y'all can hear that, with the solenoid sort of on, but I'm gonna go to 30% now and you're gonna hear the tone change. So right there, those firm clicks are the solenoid pulsing, and when air gets it, it's gonna let some out and bleed some to the top of the gate. So this right here should give us a little bit more boost. Boost cuts at 15 just so we're safe. We're gonna see what she does.
Yeah, hell yeah. 1198 12 pound. Just
So
see
right
that.
there, the solenoid started to work.
Ooh,
I'm gonna do a cool down lap so my brakes aren't
Them
fucking
brakes.
cooked.
But y'all see it right there though. I know the freaking flash is in the way, but 1198, 12 pounds. Not bad. Not bad. 30% on the boost controller.
Now we can go to 40. We should probably come up to probably gonna come up to the 15%.
So we cleaned up a little bit of the fuel map that we added too much fuel in a crossover that we didn't need. We got in the boost controller percentage up to 40%. So we're gonna see what she said.
Go from 11.9 to probably 13 or 14.
But
I'm gonna go down to the end first.
down and back.
Yeah. You can. All right, guys. We're gonna do a 4th gear pull because we're starting to run out of runway.
Starting to stretch the legs a little bit. Y'all can see right there, she hit 14.5 pounds. Oh yeah, huh? 14.5 pounds of boost.
All right, guys. I don't know if y'all could see the screen after we data logged that because the glare was pretty strong, but we peaked out at 14.5 pounds. Air fuel looked pretty good. It went a little rich up top because I picked up the curve just in case I didn't want it to lean out, but we did start hearing a ticking noise, and I'll go show you here in a second. Well, actually, let's look at the log. That's if I saved it. Or let's hit save, and then we're gonna save it as the 14 psi, and then we're gonna open it up. Let's open the log. Open it, the 14 psi log. Let's see what we did. I think, was it the last trip, right? Yeah. Alright, so it should be this little word log. We did a lot of pulls, but you just hit start here, and it'll start just before your pull, and you end the log right after your pull, and you can keep punching in to see the exact pull you want. So we started here. Boost pretty much follows RP. The duty ramped this boost to 8 pounds by 4 grand. Jesus. Yeah, so the boost controller definitely started working. The VTEC crossover still goes pretty rich. You see right there, when VTEC engages, goes to the high 10s, which it didn't really bog too hard, so I'm not worried about it. And then it comes back to the 11s. But yeah, we hit that 14 psi, pretty flat too. You could tell this is where the boost controller really benefited it. Yeah, so at 4 grand, it really started ramping in hard, and it stayed pretty flat, honestly. And that was kind of my target, but yeah, let me show you guys what we accidentally ran into. All right, guys, so I've had this problem with this setup for a long time now because I don't have a good bracket, and I've welded this cheap bracket like 10 times, and it's the alignment from alternator to crank pulley is a little off. So when you start to accelerate pretty good, it walks the belt off. So we got to abort yet another tuning session with this girl. She just wants to fight every foot of the way, but that 14 pounds felt very spicy. So we're gonna figure out how to get it home, guys, but hopefully y'all enjoyed this little tuning session. Honestly, power wise, I'm gonna leave it there so don't get too greedy. That's just a little sign, you know, she's just saying, okay, things will get a little spicy. And, you know, when you start making that much power on a stock motor, things can go wrong fast. So before we lose that belt and accidentally lean out, because I haven't fully adjusted the dead times for low voltage problems. So we're gonna try to get this car home, guys, but I'll probably drop this video because we should have some fire pulls on 10 on gate and then on 40% boost control. And again, this is just a simple little 3-port setup, and it's just teed from the turbo to the gate, and then the 3-port kind of acts like a little bleed valve, but it also puts a little bit to the top so you can hold the gate shut until your desired boost target. and 40 psi. Now I'll be, 40 psi, 40% duty cycle. Now I can go on the table and tell the boost target table that 40% is 14.5 psi. So yeah, pretty much. Right now it's fixed duty. I'll probably just leave it on 40% and it'll always target that. There's really no reason for quick spool, as it already increased spool time with the 40%. So we're gonna leave it there, guys. We're gonna probably get some I'm gonna probably let it sit here. I'm gonna fix the belt, and we're gonna get Yordi's car back up, guys, because I know y'all saw that a while ago, but we'll explain what's going on a little more. I don't know which video is getting dropped at what order, because I'm getting behind on footage, guys, but hopefully the fun stuff starts to pick up, because I know how it is when you just hear talking, and I'm a real bad talker. This is why I didn't really want to start vlogging. I just post races, but I feel like the process is really what makes this project fun, and y'all just see the really fun part, but you know what, y'all get to see the struggle too. And for those of you that want to do this is what it takes. It's never easy, and you have to be dedicated to this. Like, it is so easy to just the first problem to quit, and those are not the people that I would want on my team, because it takes dedication and time that you'll never get back. And it really, if it's not worth it to you, don't even start, because this is a never-ending cycle of breaking parts and hearts. So we're going to continue to do it, because we're RACE-ALOT Garage, and we're not going to give up on these Hondas. But that's it for the stock F20b's tuning session. That was the most power we're going to probably make for now, unless I run I'm rambling, but if this thing does a low 12 or beats the 1180, I'll probably then decide, okay, it's time to retire it, and we'll go above 15 pounds. But I don't want to get greedy before we get some licks at the track, because if it blows up on the street, then it's just another flop. It's like it's gonna blow, but that's a lot of pressure for a stock motor.
Nah, yeah, shit.
And this car was,
it's a high compression motor at that.
I think we've doubled the power.
Oh, definitely.
It's gotta be over 3. I'm hoping.
From when we did the first tune sesh before it started acting out.
And we'll like we always do, guys, we're gonna show the plugs after a pull like that. We did have some problems with the Knock Monitor Pro.
All right, guys, so we're pulling plugs, double checking them. We've pulled 1 and 2, and they look really, really clean. You can tell it's spicy, but like I told John, I was like, it's a clean spicy. He's all, I don't know what that means, but that's the best way to explain it.
Yep. There's not too much heat in it. Porcelain's clean. Dude. Even being in the low 11s air fuel at one point. Absolutely no specks. No signs of debt. The only thing, these plugs aren't showing a very prominent timing curve, but since it's only at 15 degrees, I'm not worried about it. And yeah, this would be the hottest hole. So let's check them all. These were all just as clean as this one, if not cleaner. We're using our little rat still. I wasn't going to say it, but I know someone's going to say something. This is a little tool we came up with because we got tired of ripping on the boots and stretching the wire.
Wait, I'm not gonna lie, that's the best tool we could have came up with, no cap.
Yeah, because look, it holds it. You don't want to touch a hot plug.
For on the go.
Not a single speck, bro. This one's a little rich, so that one's getting most of the fuel. But still not too much heat in the plug.
That looks flawless.
No specks, porcelain's clean. I can't really see too deep in it. Ethanol doesn't give you too much of a smoke ring at all, but it's just so clean, What we're worried about is if we're specking it. Pretty much no signs of debt, overheating, or anything.
Yeah, that's...
Honestly, it looks like a conservative tune to me. But since the knock sensor went out, we pulled some timing and just got the boost controller working. And like I said, we're gonna leave it here until we can get ready to go to the track. So that's a wrap, boys.
Hey, I will say that the Dragonfire distributor
woke it up. Yes.
Woke it up.
So those last couple of hits on the last vlog, I don't know if I dropped it, because this is already like the third or fourth tuning session trying to get this thing right. This thing made this thing an animal. Like,
Yeah,
just straight up. Even on the 10 pounds, it was lighting the fire so strong. I think that's why the plugs look so good.
Yeah, because I mean
it's burning the mixture
properly.
Yeah,
it's not skipping a beat. Honestly, it's really not.
For those just checking in, if y'all running this video, this is the bone stock F20b engine. I got some wires running along it, but this is an auto version F20b from the Core Torino in Japan. Yeah, the zoom doesn't always restart another one, but I'll try to start putting the specs in this video series, but there's really not much to it, guys. This isn't a baller build by no means. This is parts I had laying around, so it's not gonna be an exciting parts list.
Yeah, this is
not a lot of money.
This is all, you know what I'm saying, put together, little thing we had laying around the garage.
We're not going to give y'all no horsepower numbers, but we will go get the ET number at the track, so that'll give us an idea of what it's making. It is B16 gears, so we're not going to hit a high trap speed, but we'll see what it does.
Y'all stay
You
tuned.
don't know till you know. And we're going to fuck around till we find out.
Oh, God. Yeah.